Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula. Ebben with the WBZ News Update. Our top stories. We now know the name of the man who was hit and killed by a cement truck in Boston. State police identified the victim as 57-year-old Fernando Pizarro, who they say was living at a homeless shelter in the city. The deadly accident happened in South Boston just after 10 yesterday morning on Frontage Road and Traveler Street. Investigators say Pizarro was moving in and around stopped vehicles when he drove his wheelchair right in front of the concrete truck as it began to move. Police say the driver of the cement truck is cooperating with officials. Police in Franklin are investigating yet another break-in at this smoke shop, the Moonlight Smoke Shop on East Central Street. This is surveillance video from inside the store. But this is actually the third time this year that shop has been targeted by thieves. The two other break-ins took place on February 4th and March 10th. Both of those days were Sundays. 3 juveniles have since been charged in the February break-in. The other recent ones are still under investigation. We're expecting a vote from the Governor's Council today on whether or not it will approve Governor Healey's mass pardon of all cannabis simple possession convictions. Last month, Healey issued sweeping pardons which would forgive possession of marijuana convictions for hundreds of thousands of people, some of whom will be testifying before today's vote. Now, the pardon would not apply to charges of distribution, trafficking, or driving under the influence. Next, weather alert as the spring nor'easter moves in across New England. We want to get a check of the latest forecast with meteorologist Jason Mikell.
This was earlier this afternoon with a lot of overcast skies that moved in. And in fact, we had a beautiful sunrise that moved through earlier this morning as well. Since then, though, the rain has begun to move on in, and it's likely going to pack a punch, certainly in the overnight hours. Those snow showers that you see in the upper Midwest, they're mainly going to do sort of this track here. And some of it's going to kind of flow back around across western and also central Mass. But that is a classic textbook-like look here as this area of low pressure with a fan of that cold front draped all the way to the south and that warm front draped just to the south of the Boston area. That will also help to kind of ignite even more of the light rain showers to develop as well. Our day planner today will keep us locked and loaded in the upper 30s, and the lower 40s. And then when we look at some of the climate impacts that we've had for the 2024 year, we have to look in terms of how much rain we've already received. In excess of rain comes some flooding concerns, and that is exactly what we're going to be dealing with here. You saw that Worcester is number 4 in terms of it being in the top 5 of wettest starts to a year. In terms of Boston, we're at number 8. Any additional rain that we're going to get, we're likely going to add on top of that, and we could be talking about being in the top 5 of one of the wettest years on record. The morning rush hour commute has been all but quiet and also stable. Later this afternoon for the drive at 5, well, you know what? Let me just show you, okay? We got the rain showers developing. Here we go, everybody. Even at 6 p.m., this is likely going to cause even some coastal concerns down there. As far as our coastal concerns, they're not going to arrive, at least for us today. It'll likely cause some issues for us tomorrow. So we're just going to be dealing with wind conditions today, along with some rainy conditions. Tomorrow, as the low continues to wrap, we'll have more of this. And look at this. I want to draw your attention to this easterly component. You probably can't make it out there for the cloud cover, but this easterly component will wrap things around here, and that's where you start to get another low, causing even more of the colder air to filter back in. So this is why we see the rain showers erode away and we start to get some of the snowflakes beginning to move back in. It looks to be that, at least as of this note, though, the drive at 5 on Thursday is going to be mainly dry. But again, we're still likely to have some issues just kind of running about the surface across southern New England. In terms of our winter weather, okay, we do have a winter warning and a winter storm warning in effect. You can see for the Worcester Hills, including Groton, across the state line into portions of southern New Hampshire as well as Vermont, and a little bit of a watch box being posted. This is where the terrain is a little bit lower, so we're not at a winter storm warning threshold as of yet, but we can still get 3 to 6 inches out of this thing over in that area. 1 to 3 once you get down to the Mass Pike and inside closer to 495. Inside 495, closer to 93, a coating up to an inch, but we could appreciate 1 to 2 inches there. Highest amounts, jackpot zone is going to be north across the state line in portions of New Hampshire and even Vermont. And even Maine is likely to pick up at least a foot of snow. Heavy snow, wet snow, but yet plowable snow. Wind advisories and even high wind warnings. This is the mustard color you see in the east along the coastline. This is where our gusts are expected to be 50 to 60 miles per hour. And if you're inland, you can expect maybe 30, 40 miles per hour. A little bit lighter, but still, nonetheless, a very gusty Wednesday afternoon and certainly a Thursday afternoon as well. There's the wraparound flow. You can see that area of low pressure moving up to the north right now. We're still raking in nearly 50 mile per hour gusts over towards Martha's Vineyard. But even with our current temperatures in the 40s, it's going to feel like it's a little bit cooler outside because of that rained, cool air. Here we go. Our 7-day forecast. Next weather alert continues for us tomorrow. A few lingering flakes for us on Saturday and Sunday, but all the activity should be out of here for Monday on the solar eclipse day. Will be around 60 in the afternoon. Beautiful day, in fact. And even on Tuesday, we're still expecting 60, sun and clouds. Paula?
Jason, thank you. I'm Paula Ebben. This has been a WBZ News Update.